after last Saturday, after Cape Town beat both these two big teams in the league, I think they just effectively ripped open the league. And now it's everybody has got a chance, basically. We've got like 4, 5, almost 6 teams being able to win the league. So, and once you see that the finish line.
Chess, nonsense, and analysis.
Yes, Watu. Here we are again. What are we looking at today?
Well, Kelvin, today we are looking at the league. We are going to look at round 6. And a lot happened. And many very interesting results.
Sounds good.
Should we look at the results? And, okay. So the D division didn't play actually this weekend.
Okay.
So we are still waiting for them to come back and play. So for them the standings is like as we mentioned in the last episode. Then the C division, we have you see Blackjacks B are doing very well. They are the only team that has won all their games, all their matches, right?
Okay.
And they are leading. And on second spot is Steinitz C. And then Kraaifontein B. So these are the teams that are So I think when they play each other, it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen there.
Yep, for sure.
Yes. Then the B division, we're actually having Steinitz B. They've won all their matches.
Okay.
Belleville A. They have also won all their matches. And then Delft has actually drawn their match against Manyanani B. So those top 3 teams are still there, but Delft made a little slip up.
Okay.
And they are there. And then, remember we did also talk about Observatory A.
Yes.
They are then, but they lost two matches. Observatory, they lost against Belleville, and they also lost against. Let me just make 100% sure here.
Yeah.
They lost against UCTB, it seems.
Okay.
So, so it's still those 3 teams: Steinitz B, Belleville A, and Delft A. And so it will be exciting when they start to play against each other. And whoever wins that sort of mini round robin there should be one
poised to win the league.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's my prediction.
Okay, good stuff.
All right. Should we then move to the A division?
Yes.
Division?
Yeah. Last time in the round 5 there was upset or 2. What's happening in round 6?
Okay, round 6, a lot happened. Basically, the first match, UCT A lost against Crossroads A, 2.5, 5.5. Okay. So Crossroads is really holding their own. Remember the last time they had beaten Grassy Park, I think.
Yes, yeah? Crossroads is actually on a roll now. So it's starting to get some momentum.
So they are putting points on the board, and it's looking very good. Then the next match, Stellenbosch crushed Grassy Park 7-1.
Grassy Park struggling, yeah.
Grassy Park is struggling, this season, and they actually have a balanced team. So I don't know what's happening, but somehow they haven't shifted gears and they seem to be struggling.
Yeah.
Then another team that is struggling is MRL A. They lost to ACL A 1-7.
Yeah, I think that one, Watu, is actually a big one for ACL actually, because MRL is definitely struggling. They still need. I think they still need to win a match actually.
Sure.
So. Like in the Barclays Premier League, that relegation fight, it gets vicious, and I think okay, we're halfway through the league, but the teams need to start picking their battles, and this was a crucial one. I think ACL also at the bottom half, so I'm sure ACL is quite happy with that victory, trying to stay away from the bottom too. MRL got their work cut out, I think.
Yes, actually, that's a very important point that you mentioned there. This was an important battle for both of them, because now it's a question of, although both teams are balanced, but they haven't started well. So it's actually now, who are you going to beat so that you don't get relegated?
Stay off the bottom. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
exactly. So, a good result for ACL there.
Yep.
Then the next one, Elsis River A lost against Blackjacks 1.5, 6.5. So Blackjacks doing very well.
Blackjacks on a roll, yes.
Yeah, doing very well. And then a big surprise, Cape Town A beat Manyani A 4.5, 3.5.
That's a bit of a surprise, yes.
Bit of a surprise, and for Manyani, because you didn't play last week, we definitely missed you. And,
it's pity I missed that one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Cape Town A doing well. They beat Steinitz and then they beat Manyanani.
I mean, that's on one day, right? They beat Steinitz in round 5 and beat us Manyanani in round 6. So a huge performance there by Cape Town. And
4.5, 3.5 was the result.
So actually also making a run for it now.
Definitely. And then Kraaifontein A lost against Steinitz A 3-5.
Close match.
So very close match. And but they sort of So after 6 rounds, the team that has actually won all their matches so far is Blackjacks A. But what is interesting is that Blackjacks A, if you look at the results, they've actually played teams from position 7 to position 12, right?
They've cleaned up the bottom teams for now.
They've cleaned up the bottom teams. So they are still to play now, basically the top teams. So this is when
they got some work also left.
Yes.
That's the interesting thing about the league, Watu. Each team has their own path that they need to run through. So it's not always so clear. I mean, I guess league and also just round robins. So with round robins as well in general, you can't really claim that you got a huge lead. You still need to play the X, Y, and Z along the way, right? So
exactly.
But I mean, Blackjacks did the right thing thus far by cleaning up. So now they're gonna have to get past some taller hurdles, basically.
Yeah. Now they have to start playing, and then then we've got Manyanani still on second, and Kraaifontein on third, and then a surprise, a little bit of a surprise, but actually not a surprise because last season they also did well. Is then Cape Town A. They are also in there on fourth. So still a lot to play for, and I think now it's going to get very interesting because definitely the top teams are going to start playing against each other. And once again, my prediction is that it's now a question of it's Blackjacks, Manyanani, Kraaifontein, and then Steinitz. Cape Town A, I think they've done well. I don't know if they can, but on the other hand, look, they have easier matches left. So
I think Cape Town certainly also in the equation over there.
They are in the equation
after the last Saturday's performance.
And if you think about it, Cape Town A have they only have Blackjacks, so to speak. They've played everybody else. and it seems that it's very interesting. So they definitely are also in the running.
Yeah, I think actually after last Saturday, after Cape Town beat both these two big teams in the league, I think they just effectively ripped open the league. And now it's everybody has got a chance, basically. We've got like 4, 5, almost 6 teams being able to win the league. So, and once you see that the finish line, the teams might just beef up their squads, then go all out instead of, so you see teams sometimes not bring their full squad, but for instance, Cape Town, I'm pretty sure Cape Town is going to bring their full strength from now on, because they've got something to aim for. Same goes for the other teams, basically. So I think it's super interesting.
Very interesting.
And all to play for, I think. These key matches, there's some key matches left. So looking forward to them.
Yep, same here. So yeah, but shall we look at the game that we've been sent?
Yes. So we've received a game from the match between Kraaifontein and Steinitz. We've received a game from our local senior former champion, Mr. Mark Lewis. And he was, we are quite happy that he sent in a game for us. So he's got the black pieces here against Membere. Apologies if my pronunciation is not perfect on that one. Monashe. And this is round 6, Kraaifontein versus Steinitz.
Okay. Let's have a look.
Okay, so let's run through this one. So we have a Sicilian on the board, and we have a Sicilian Rosalimo. Black goes pawn to e6. White decides to castle. Bishop takes knight, of course, is another option, giving the double pawns. Black tries to avoid the double pawns here. d4, interesting choice. I don't know the theory that well, but I know rook e1 is also a kind of a waiting move there, just covering the e-pawn and waiting to see what black will do.
But I think d4 is also playable. Yeah,
this also seems quite fine. Queen d1 all the way back. Queen c7. Or to c4, and white sets up a type of a Maroczy bind structure.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure about the c4, but okay, it's interesting.
Yeah. Takes. And I think the thing about the Maroczy bind, Watu, is when white is supposed to be suffocating black a bit, right? Because black's not supposed to play d5 and b5, and I don't know if this is the case. I'm thinking white wants to rather keep more pieces on the board, right? To make black struggle a bit with the space. So all these trades are kind of weird.
I agree with you. I'm not a big fan of bishop takes c6. And look, I would have tried something like bishop a4. And well, the reason why I'm saying that is, it's still a long way before, if I can play bishop c2 and then play b3 and so on. But even then, I'm not convinced. But at least, I'm saying if you ever break in the center, at least my bishop is going to play. But of course, but I'm not 100% convinced by this setup for white. You know.
So, but strange says, I think mixing it a bit, right?
Yeah, it's mixing a number of systems. I think after queen d1, queen c7, white can still claim an advantage here, for sure.
Yeah.
For me, c4 looks a little bit, I don't know. I would have played quickly knight c3, queen g4, And,
I think just putting the knight on c3, because it seems kind of quiet, but without I've actually played this a few times in blitz games, not this exact position, but sometimes when you trade off that knight, black is kind of missing a defender on the king side, so white still can do your usual stuff, even throw in f4 eventually and so on. It should be interesting.
I think I like what you're saying, and I think that's the point that Mr. Mhembere misses here, because the point is that night white should try and make black miss it.
Yeah.
So yeah, knight c3, bishop drops back to d3 or whatever. Queen goes to h5, h4, f4. I think this way there's some questions to be answered. But I certainly think once you this way, I am not convinced that white is better here. And I would even think that black is very comfortable already. What would you say?
Seems comfortable, yes. Bishop f6 already. Just placing the bishop on an active diagonal. Castle. Queen g4, but slow now, but okay. Finally plays queen g4. Black goes for the d6. Rook a to d1. And yeah, black just gets in a move that you usually struggle to get in, but Mr. Lewis gets it in and already puts the white structure under pressure there to make a decision. And white now decides to make things messy and go queen g3. Of course,
well, you know,
what should he do?
I was thinking for a while that, you know, there are a number of patterns here.
Yep.
The pawn on g7 is pinned, and I would love to move my knight and take on f6. There's a pattern on e7, but it's not working nicely. Knight d5, unfortunately, there's e takes d5, and the bishop takes d5.
Yes. Okay.
So nice. this is the little problem for now that white is having. But so you know, a big question is, can white somehow do something here quickly? That I don't know. I don't see it. Yeah, I'm not convinced that white has got something here. I mean, tactically. You know, I'm trying to find it.
Figure something out. Yeah. No f4, e5, nothing.
I cannot see. I tried to think about e5 or knight takes b5, bishop takes b2. It's not enough. And I think it explains the move. But then it explains the move queen g3. No? Yeah, it's trying to get out of this diagonal.
Yeah, just also the other maybe. Oh, the CB is not even possible, right? But okay, this piece is hanging. Yeah, okay. You don't even want to think about that. So yeah, he does go in for queen g3. Yep.
Exactly. And I think then it shows the sharpness of Mr. Lewis, because he senses the danger here, and he plays bishop takes c3.
You're not willing to protect the d6 pawn in a passive way. He takes here.
Yeah.
And I mean, now white goes into the complications, Watu. But if white went, let's say, I mean, he's got bishop options here. Bishop takes c3. I'm realizing this queen takes as okay, but bishop. What is black planning on doing? e5.
E5, I think, is the only move. The way I see it.
Just cutting it out, okay, and then we still have the pressure here.
However, now we have this situation here, Kelvin, because it's bishops of opposite color.
Yes.
If I can set up something on the black squares, I will have compensation, right? So let's go wild.
F4. Yes.
Okay. So I'm not going to protect anything. I'm just going for an all-out attack.
I must say I'm not quite keen here with black. What do you do? What do you? I mean, you don't want to grab on e4. You don't want to just take on c4. You can't play bishop e6 comfortably anymore. What do you do?
I think you have to play f6, right?
I guess so. You have to. Yeah, that's logically. You have to just block the diagonal, right? Makes sense.
F6, and it looks like that's it. The white party comes to a grinding halt. It doesn't seem to be able to create more. Okay, I don't see it. Something like bishop b4. Can I try? Rook d8. Okay, there's some questions.
F6, yeah, does seem to keep things. I don't know if this. I mean, I don't know if this is what Mr. Lewis was going for, but or maybe he's just this is the best way to stop what white was trying to do there.
No, but it looks like white will not be able to break through, and black should be able to.
Yeah, F6 is a key move. Nice. Okay.
So nice. Yeah, but then plays rook takes d6.
Rook takes d6.
Definitely mixing it up. And
so
now we see Mr. Lewis's intention.
So black has captured a knight already, and white plays an in-between move.
Right.
So I don't know, maybe white was expecting the queen to move, and then he recaptures on c3. But Mr. Lewis now decides to give in the lady over there, which is quite logical.
Very nice to see. A very nice move. Good
count
decision.
The pieces. Yeah? 3 pieces for queen. Nice. I guess the only danger here you might need to maybe sum up is can this passed pawn be dangerous? Are my pieces a bit loose? But yeah,
the only question to answer. It's the only question to answer in the position, right? Is around that c pawn. If the c pawn can be contained, it's all over for white.
Nice. Okay, interesting stuff here. So white actually goes ahead and plays c5. He needs to. That's all that he's playing for, right? Yeah.
Sorry, Kelvin.
Sure.
One interesting thing that crossed my mind. I don't see a. Can I chase the bishop around? Can I play like? Because how is the bishop coming back?
Is it gonna go to d8 something?
Yeah. For example,
c3.
If I play c3.
c3 and b4.
But c3 is not enough because rook b1 bishop c3. I take on b5, and if you take, I have queen c6. I'm taking a8.
Wow. Okay.
Right. So let's say I play rook b1. Okay. Possibly you'll have to play like what? Bishop f6, I think.
Bishop 6 e5. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Then can you play bishop g5? But this is now asking questions, no? Because if I move your bishop from this diagonal, for example, if I play g3, if your bishop, but you have time, you play bishop g7, f4, bishop back, right? Or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. But okay, let's say here, g3, because if bishop b7, if I play f4, because even then, if you play bishop back to d8, I've got c5. I'm not so keen on this position too much, you know. Okay, you can play bishop d5.
c8 maybe? Bishop d5 looks nice, yeah.
Bishop d5.
Yeah, I like bishop d5.
Yeah, and my king is always a problem if you play. Yeah, black is still.
What if white plays b4 here? Okay, a2 is hanging. I want to just completely hem in this bishop over here. Yeah, it's okay, but maybe
it's a weird position. Maybe I can play a5, Kelvin. Take the king, right? a5 and get out with the rook.
Rook a2 eventually. h5, stuff like that. Yeah.
But it's certainly, I think white has to try those extreme means somewhere here.
Yeah, he needs to put on some heat, yeah.
Yes. If white doesn't manage that, and I think in the game he did manage to really do it, then we would have a situation where black's pieces will get out, and then once they coordinate, you can resign, right?
Yeah.
It's just too much. So white played what? c5?
c5. And bishop a3, a nice little move over here, just pinning the pawn for now. White gets out of the pin, and Mr. Lewis is not keen on allowing pawn to b4, so he wants to isolate this guy over there. Also gives the bishop more squares to work with. Bishop b7. Finally, the rooks are connected. Pawn to c6. Black throws in an in-between move over here, hitting the queen. Queen drops back to c1. Looks a bit awkward over there. And the rook to c8. And black is effectively picking up the pawn now, it seems.
Because the thing about, for a second, I was trying to make
capture
a trick like take on b7,
Yeah.
But you will play. But I think black played like bishop d6.
It's like the only move, right?
Or yes, bishop d6, right? And then rook c8. So my question is,
How do you win this?
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking for a second. So you would have to play f6, king f7, king e7, and then what? Oh, and then rook d8, and then king e7.
Poof. Okay. And in the meantime, white can't really do much, right?
I don't think so.
Can you throw in e5 over here? So if you go, oh, f6 is just in time, right? You have to play f6 now.
Yes.
Thinking about e5 there, if it was.
But even if you threw it before, do you think it changes that much? Like if you played e5 and
okay. Because the bishop still covers there, right? Okay,
still
so
covers,
yeah, this certainly seemed interesting there for a moment, but again, it seems like black's got it covered. So rook c8.
Got it covered, yeah.
c7. Pawn is breathing his last breath over there, and bishop d6. Finally, the pawn drops. And black is glad or happy to trade these two pawns. And another one drops. And
Now this is technically winning for white.
Yeah.
But it's still interesting for us to check the technique because... sorry, not for white, for black, because black has just got 3 pieces. But let's have a look what happened.
h4.
h4.
Getting all the pieces in the game. Okay, so this is just a blunder now from white.
It's hanging the exchange, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pressure. Yeah, it's under pressure.
But okay, I guess white needs to find maybe rook e1 or something. So it's not a pleasant position to play for white, and he just blunders.
Nothing. It actually goes even back to our theme from last time. I mean, there's no attack going on against the black king. Nothing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just there. h5, h6. The queen is just useless, just standing there.
Can't push any of these pawns to do nothing because this just opens up.
The problem is that I've got 2 bishops. If you put the pawns, you get yourself checkmated, right?
Yeah.
You're yourself. Yeah, it's lost. Yeah. But of course, white will play on because it's a team event, right? You don't want to resign, no?
Yeah, you don't want to just collapse immediately, but Mr. Lewis is not not letting go over here, and this is just a clean conversion over there. King f6 and resign. So
very interesting game, yeah.
Yeah, nice tactical little game over there. Nice queen. It's always nice to sacrifice your queen. So
definitely.
I think the youngsters sometimes don't want to do that. I work with a lot of young kids, and the primary school kids. Watu, they tremble with just the thought of trading queens. Now you have to sacrifice your queen for 3 pieces.
Out of question.
It's you have to think 3 times if you are junior. And I actually remember getting exposed to this idea that the queen is, or 3 pieces can be strong or even stronger than the queen.
Right.
Many years ago. I don't know when it was. It could be a good 20 odd years ago. But initially it sounded like craziness as an inexperienced player, but it makes a lot of sense. Three pieces versus 1. Just the coordination, of course, is necessary. So,
Definitely.
So yeah, interesting stuff there by Mr. Lewis. That was one of the key encounters there for that match between Kraaifontein and Steinert. So thanks for sending in the game.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis, for sending in the game. Yeah, absolutely.
Good stuff. So we will be keeping a keen eye on the next few rounds. Things are going to surely continue to heat up. So all the best to all the clubs, and we will keep you updated. Is that all the nonsense for today, Watu?
Yeah, that's all the nonsense for today. More exciting stuff coming from the league.
Yeah, for sure. So if you like the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and throw in a comment. And we will see you for the next analysis. Cheers.